is rewards or in this TGE. I think at most it's 20% will be a historical consideration, which is, I mean, again, we did millions of dollars in volume, and we'll probably get back less than like $5,000-$10,000.
Yeah. I mean, see, like the way I look at it, it's like, you got to reward the people that helped OpenSea be successful. And at the beginning, 2020, 21, 22 was when the majority of OpenSea's revenue was made, over the past few years. It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place as far as deciding how to do the distribution. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, because I know, like yourself, 5 million in fucking volume, you would want a fat reward, right? A fat stimmy.
Yeah, I
People,
said like maximum I'm expecting is 10K, and so like more realistically, I think I'll probably get somewhere around 5K, which like I guess technically is over an ETH, but because it's over an ETH, I don't, like I said, I wouldn't be even surprised if it was less than that, if it was closer to like, okay, you got 3,000 back, and it's like a tier, right? That it's so weighted that unless you did like, let's say $10 million plus, or even if you are in the highest tier, I just feel like it's one of those things where they're going to prioritize, their cap table, and that'll be a lot of whales that contributed a lot of volume over the years to NFTs and transacting with OpenSea, and
right?
they'll get taken care of through the cap table, so they won't be as upset about not getting taken care of through the historical. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
those types of kind of bait and switches are what I'm expecting.
Well, I look back at like Blur. Weren't there like multiple wallets that walked away with like seven figures off that airdrop, the initial Blur airdrop? Like, I'm pretty sure there were some people that it was only a couple or a few wallets that ended up with like a million plus off that airdrop. I know Machi like fucking cleaned up, right? But again, they did a shitload of volume during that whole farming, you know,
What their reputation or what their kind of role was in the past within the greater ecosystem, especially Ethereum. um ENS was a huge airdrop. SOS was a decent airdrop. There was another one I can't remember off the top of my head, not Magic Eden or a marketplace. I mean, there was
Arbitrum.
looks, rare. That's the thing. Imagine that they came out and they gave you less money, than Looks Rare gave you a few years ago. Then people are gonna like just have like
melt.
have pitchforks and torches. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that would be like a reasonable reaction. Like, for as much as I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, and Adam, and Steve, and who and Balan and whoever else, like they're active within the community, and I appreciate that. They're not like hiding behind interns or whatever. You still have to execute, right? Like, you still have to come out swinging and show you're serious about keeping this going, because my whole prerogative, or my opinion of where I'd like to see this headed. I want penguins and apes and Nakamigos and whoever else to have their own marketplaces, just like punks do. Like, have more um like alignment with your hub, your marketplace, that it has the merch right there, it has the NFTs right there, it has whatever other opportunities all in one spot, and like something like Pudgy, I think, would probably benefit the most from this, of just not even being bogged down and having your community distracted by other things. If you want to maximize, your reputation and kind of like preach that it's okay to be a maxi, which I don't even hate that type of that stance, then you should structure and build around that, that philosophy. And by being at the mercy of the marketplaces and whatever they're fucking doing, like, you're only going to have so much control.
Did you see what they did in between the last wave 3 and 4, where they're doing like this daily boost thing now? But you can't see it. There's like nowhere on your rewards tab where you see the daily boost and how far into the boost of that day you are. So it's like it's going to monitor your daily activity on OpenSea and give you, I guess, a boost on your chest above what you did. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like Fluid used to have a dashboard up that showed you like a calculator of what your airdrop estimation would end up being. And I think they actually took it down because, like, I mean, some of those numbers were pretty unrealistic. Um, and I'm not sure if it's back up or not. It's been a minute since I tried even getting on there to look for it. But there's also some Dune Analytics boards out there too, right?
Yeah, I think so. But to Anon's point, like as far as like self custodial marketplaces of collections, I mean, we can all agree for to the most point, like the blur farming like hurt NFTs big time, right? Like that's when we started to see. Well, number one, they did no royalties. Number two, it was like everybody was farming, so they were rewarding WETH bids, so people had a bunch of WETH bids out. It would get accepted, and then they would accept the next WETH bid underneath it just to create the volume, right? So we saw a lot of floor prices during that time kind of start to have the downtrend. Volume was up, but the actual overall market cap of like particular collections started to take a hit. So I mean, it was a net negative in a sense of like overall value of the NFT, sector. But OpenSea, it doesn't feel like it's negatively impacting um, the floor prices as much because they put it in terms that they're not going to reward that type of stuff, yada
Well,
yada,
not a,
whatever
yeah.
they
In
try
the
to do.
originally they destroyed shit originally, and like some collections still haven't even recovered all the way. Like when I look
Right.
on this Dune Analytic board right here, the first 3 chests, wood, iron, and steel, 89.37%.
Fuck it. Let me go check. Let me go see
And
what I
then you
can
go
go
do it.
toggle and do. And I couldn't access any of it. And I was like, oh, this is great. I've done tens of thousands of dollars of volume, in the past like few months, maybe even over 100K. Actually, yeah, no, definitely over 100K. And not like I don't have anything to show for that, right? Like I had the lowest chest, like $50 of USDC and some,
Oh, did you not
random.
hit get started?
No,
Yeah, because like there were people that did like 200K in volume.
Brutal.
They didn't hit get started, and it didn't count towards their
exactly.
shit. And OpenSea was like, "Sorry, we're not giving anybody any like do overs. Like you're not like we're not gonna fucking we're not." Yeah.
To clarify one thing, when I preach that I think collections should consider having their own marketplaces and restricting where their digital collectibles NFTs are available, it's to really like reinforce that supply and demand and the like illusion of digital scarcity, that if you are going through a specific funnel and it's all like aligned like directly with the brand. They're responsible for what happens through the marketplace and activity and bad actors or whatever. Ultimately, it brings you like I think one thing we have to consider is that decentralization is basically dead. The institutions are moving in, the government's moving in, the marketplaces want their share, just like a central exchange. I think that we got to push back a little bit, and like I don't necessarily want my like the things I consider to be like, okay, so like Alpha Centauri kid, I have a full set of his color study, and I see that they like are appreciating, which is a really good sign, kind of like whether or not NFTs are coming back, or if people still value this stuff that easily you could just right click save, and they do. But when it's being featured, or maybe it's even being overshadowed by other things that like are just in a completely different category, I think that it dilutes everything as far as like its value. That when you kind of have to go searching, um, especially with how broken things have been with like the base collections that are just straight scams and replicas of the real collections, and there's a lot of interference. There's a lot of friction that it's just not necessary. Like if you're confident enough on your own as a business and your community and your collector base, then yeah, I would say that you would probably do better having something more niche, something that was a little bit more um, centralized and controllable, and it also would enable you to like be able to do like zero royalties for 1 month, and like more like Web 2 like marketing and sales strategies of how do we build more interest around this, what do we have the capabilities to do to make this more hopefully optimistic that these things that are kind of preaching, or like they're structuring themselves to be considering larger communities, I think that those do well over time. I think that more people will feel they're accessible up until a point, and then it will kind of evolve into something that is a lot larger of a network effect than what you have with, say, like a Penguins or a Chimpers or a Good Vibes Club or an Apes. Um, but you have everyone that is kind of like on the same like level playing field.
Who do you think ended up buying CloneX?
Rumors are it's internal, which would be kind of like, I don't know if I'd go as far as say disappointing. I know that there was a lot of like sensitive, it was very somber, right, around what happened with one of the co-founders, um, and so maybe like
Oh, you think some of
that.
the original team bought it?
That's what is being rumored. I know someone was memeing like, and it kind of caught some engagement that Gary V bought, but I highly doubt that. Um, as far as anyone, like, I mean, I guess Animoca could come in.
Yeah.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Hmm.
Like, when has that ever worked out?
That metaverse meta was fucking insane, bro.
It was a little pie in the sky, though, wasn't it? I mean, Sandbox was the idea of everybody having, an avatar and running around together. It's all fun, but you can't take like 4 decades of elite backwards in animation capability to do that. That's why the other side's actually interesting to an extent, because it is like it looks like a video game looks like today. And from
No,
that platform, it can evolve as computer animation and graphics evolve. I don't know, it's just a better starting place, I think. But
no, but didn't
goddamn,
they?
dude, I know every one of my favorite collections did a fucking voxelized secondary grift all over my face last cycle. Holy shit.
No,
I feel like
listen,
other side's trying to be a decentralized Fortnite, and like I'm here for it. Like,
or
fucking go
Roblox
for
or
it.
Roblox. They had the chance. They had the chance to do like Roblox to own some land and try to build something a good land so that people can get attracted to go to that land and buy something and have some e-commerce on that land. But it was fucked up because you had also Snoop having his own land, so that it was a momentum on that in on 2022. I remember I bought a lot of tokens, sandbox tokens, in the end of 2021 on December or November, and I did well. So I was like considering what's going on. What like worth billions on the peak, and people was what is it? Shall I invest on it or like it was like a tryout for metaverse or who's gonna do well and who's gonna make money.
I
Like
like other side. Other side, I think is really fun.
other
I
side
think it
would
looks
be
like it's
fun.
really
It
cool and
would be
well
fun.
done. I will say this though, because Zanon, you just made the comparison to Fortnite, and because that's what most people want to have video game experiences on. Other side is that, but with modern graphics. So it's very cool, and it adds the whole on-chain thing, which I think is very interesting as well. And the new GTA could end up kind of doing the same thing if any
Yeah.
of that ever comes to fruition.
So
And
I have a huge prediction, and it would affect, well, basically the entire industry, but it would be led by several projects, most prominently Yuga. And whoever Yuga might quietly be partnered with, like through Node, because they're on the advisory board, which is CryptoPunks. Um, and like almost seeing that there is a little bit of a, call it a cabal or a niche, group of leadership that might be going in a different direction than the majority of the space is currently thinking. Because I think that they're in on it as far as like the Digital Clarity Act, which we've been waiting at least 4 months for it now, right? Like since
Yeah.
September is when originally it was going to at least be considered. Now they're saying it's going to be approved in like the next 10 days. And I'll believe it when I see it. But when it happens, like people were kind of underwhelmed with what Garga announced at Ape Fest. And I think it's because he literally could not like announce and speak to
Disclose
all of
all
it.
of it.
Yeah, I really think that they're going to be enabled, empowered in a way that people aren't necessarily like they're not gonna believe it until they see it actually like playing out already. And it's like those of us that have been preaching NFTs for several years now and never really wavered from that will have a head start or an advantage, that we always thought that this was a good possibility to fall into place and that they'd figure it out and that it would lead to a lot more fruitful opportunities and potential for everyone, right? So Yuga, with Other Side, I wouldn't be surprised if ApeCoin comes back home to the United States and that I don't know if they relaunch. I don't know what they do specifically, but they're going to give that token value once they're enabled and allowed to give it value. I'm sure Pudgy will work on, their own ways of doing so as well. I'm not as familiar, I don't really pay as much attention there, quite honestly. But then my position, right? Like, or my portfolio being built around Nakamigos, it's because of the foreshadowing with Beeple and some of these other people close to him that represent like Benny, for example. No one know, like a lot of people don't know on our DGen NFT PFP side of things who Benny is. Benny is Redbeard, and Redbeard brokered the deal between Yuga Labs and Node, with Ribbit Capital, Mickey Malka, for the CryptoPunks IP. He's brokered a lot of other things as well, and he rang the bell with Ethereum Foundation at Nasdaq like less than a year ago. The dude's a big deal, and he's like a quiet mover and shaker that's like Beeple's, I would say Beeple's wingman, but like they're very, very close, and he's very close with Yuga and very close with Larva, and Art Blocks, of course. So you see like this kind of, like I said, this niche, almost like this gated group, and they're the ones who just excelled as 010 Basil. It was all those same people. Throw in Jack, throw in X copy. It's all kind of part of the same vision of like where those people are trying to take this space and what access and what alpha, quote unquote, they may have. So I think that we're on the cusp of seeing real GameFi monetization opportunities that are unlocked by the Clarity Act. It'll work for Other Side, it'll work for a handful of these other projects that are like primed and ready to kind of like execute or like implement these next steps to their plan. And I think everyone, quite frankly, is racing to get it out before GTA. Like, I think that there is like a clock on everyone here that knows that GTA catalyst will likely have crypto, and it's going to be like, that's going to be massive. It's gonna be really hard to maintain attention and interest. I think when GTA might just have everyone beat as far as the tech.
You think they're gonna go that way and not
One
have it
hundred
to
percent.
monetize by
Once
themselves?
the Clarity Act is approved, oh fuck yeah, they will, because it's going to be like the amount of money that they're going to be able to churn is going to be exponential.
But how
Because it's
shall they
all
how shall they like on ramp? How should they on ramp? Like I see a lot of games doing that kind of without NFTs, without like stable coins, without the blockchain, but they're doing by themselves. Like Path of Exile, like and Fortnite is doing the creative program. They have their own thing. So if you like make your own maps and all that, and
Iceberg, when
the
you
thing,
when you mention these other games, are they doing it like an in-game marketplace? Because I think
yeah, yeah,
okay, so how do
they
you
have
off ramp
IBGN,
money out of that
IBGN,
though? Because it's
they
great that
have.
there's an in-game marketplace where you can trade things amongst each other.
Yeah.
But
They have.
can you off ramp the money out of the ecosystem back into your bank?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Between like through Klarna. Klarna is like a Swedish company. Klarna, everybody knows of Klarna now because Klarna has been big and it's a Swedish company. Doing the opportunity to so you can sell gear and things and different games like Path of Exile. Like my friend sold the fucking armor on the Path of Exile and a weapon like a staff on Path of Exile for $5,000.
Hmm.
$5,000 he sold it in, and it's not NFT, not blockchain, nothing. So we gotta like, how can those guys come over like and like Counter Strike are doing their own marketplace, you know that. So
Yeah, but that's cultural games, bro. You can't compare that to Web3 games. The Web3 games should be funny, and the guys will come. I mean, if the game is not good, the guys will not come. There is not a big
yeah,
discussions
yeah,
there.
that's the no, Johnny. I'm completely agreeing with you that the game and the gamification have to be right and balanced. Like, what's the purpose? What's the incentives? So it's in the game. So people know that. Like, if you have something is very worth for the game and the game is very popular and has been there for a very long time, why not? Like, why not? But why do I have to? Why do I have to? Because before I was thinking like crypto is the like the solution to be to have the fully custodial over your skins, fully custodial of everything. I was thinking that I have to go to the like you have to go to that road, like you have to be NFTs or you have to be like custodial stable coins that you can sell your different assets, your guns, your whatever you are grinding for. That's fair and square, yeah. Instead of shark cards and all that shit that's staying on the fucking game, and the game is getting billions and billions like Grand Theft Auto, but that you can grind for your thing and sell it to other people, or give it away for your friends or whatever it is. I've been thinking about it. I was thinking about it in back in 2022, man, 2023. I was thinking like, oh, NFT is the thing. It's like fully custodial, decentralized, everything fair. Yeah, but those fuckers are
They
using
all
their
no,
own
they all fucked it
technology.
up with the token though. They literally all fucked it up with the token because they all were thinking of paying back their investors with the VCs and the like AMMs that they were partnered with. That no one, right, like unless you'd been here for a cycle or two already, you didn't know that. Like you didn't know that that was how it was all being kind of propped up, and that 80% of it plus was probably artificial as far as what
Hundred
even
percent, Anon. I'm
like
with you. I'm with you. 100%.
encouraged us to bid in the first place. But hear me out. So all these tokens were basically extracting, right? Like it was almost like premeditated extraction versus actually, hey, let's set up a sustainable ecosystem that's going to be around 10 years from now. I think they're going to get another bite at the apple. I think that their excuse will be the Digital Clarity Act. I think that like ApeCoin, for example, find a way to like reward developers that will be building on
Other side.
Ape Chain and through other side, right? Like, but as far as the gamification and the tokenomics as far as incentives and rewards, you're cooked. You need another token, and they'll probably get it. And it's going to be, this is the play token, right? This is the experience token. What it needs to be is a fucking stable coin. Like that's the direction that I think that the tokenomics need to go in is play to earn stablecoin that has DeFi, mechanics of how you can then like reinvest into the ecosystem or show your loyalty and get rewarded on it. But having a faucet is a lot more sustainable than like launching a meme coin that again it felt like
As a
the
supply cap.
entire time it felt extractive. Not as much ape coin, like there's a little bit more planning around that, but it kind of like obviously it fell off, the market fell off, like there were a lot of challenges there, and the tokenomics weren't ideal, but it at least seemed like they were making an honest attempt. I'd like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but most projects were just a straight fucking extraction.
Yeah, yeah,
Like they
it
Well,
was
had
just
no
extraction.
I do gotta say, I completely agree with you about the stablecoin thing. Nobody like imagine you log into Fortnite your first time, you spend $20, you get a lit skin, you log in tomorrow, and now V Bucks cost $5,000 a coin. You're never playing that game again, right? So I do totally agree with that. The one thing you said earlier though that I do disagree with a little bit is that everybody needs to like hurry the fuck up before Grand Theft Auto gets there. I just think like there's not going to be one all-encompassing metaverse, at least not for a long time, if that ever comes to fruition. I mean, and it would have to have so many different types of IP built out within it. There's just nobody can afford to even run servers that big right now, right? I mean, like you're not going to want your
No, that's true.
6-year-old daughter to be playing, Grand Theft Auto exclusively. You're going to want them to play the Pudgy Penguins metaverse or whatever cute shit, is available or
Honestly,
whatever.
it's
And
me
different
getting
people
like
are going to be.
skewed by the demographics of the trenches of like our people here every day. I feel like the majority of them are gonna go towards something like GTA. But to your point, the reason why I
I
have
mean,
over
maybe,
200.
but everybody like dude. Even amongst like grown-ups, like, dude, there's a lot of people that love fucking World of Warcraft or not World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, right? And then there's a lot of
Sure.
people that like Fortnite.
Yeah, there's a
Like,
lot of people
there's
that
people just
don't
have
like.
different
Yeah,
tastes.
that don't like
Yeah,
GTA.
a lot of people don't like shooter games, right? A lot of people want to go on like an adventure type thing and not a shooter type thing. People
That's
want to be a wizard
well. That's
instead
why
of
I'm wondering.
a marine or whatever,
Like games that are already out, once the Clarity Act comes out, and teams aren't so scared to do shit and actually put gaming tokens inside of games and have utility. Now they're going to be able to turn around whether they have to deploy a new coin or they're somehow able to use that coin. I mean, it could really change the mechanics of a lot of games that are out already, and revitalize some of these brands.
I think as much as it might be, maybe people think that the Clarity Act is priced in for ETH already, which it's not, but it's not going to necessarily go parabolic, the day that it's signed either.
Yeah.
I don't think it's priced in at all when it comes to the majority of NFT opportunities. Like I think most people have ruled out NFTs altogether. The few of us that haven't are even, I would say a little cautious or trepidatious as far as like where are things going from here. I think the Clarity Act is a actual like before and after type of moment. It's like before Christ and then like after his death. Like that type of like almost prophetic type of catalyst for NFTs.
Are we
Well,
saying
And
before CA and after CA?
what was before CA?
Clarity Act and after
Oh
Clarity
yeah,
Act.
yes.
We need to
Before
start
CA,
branding. We need to
exactly.
start branding that, Anon. Everywhere you go, is you just say before CA and after CA.
Should we do DCA just for the
Oh
memes?
yeah, you can. Yeah.
Before DCA, after DCA. The last thing I'll say is like this is why I also have over 200 cloaks when they came out with a half-ass Fortnite demo and didn't like follow through on their original I don't say promises but plans to build out a full NFT integrated game and for the Nakamigos cloaks, part of the ecosystem. But I still hold all of them, even though they're like probably worth like less than I don't know, they're maybe $20 each right now or something crazy. Because I think there is that possibility. They've been waiting for after DCA moment to be able to actually integrate and like activate what they've been building or what they've been kind of keeping behind the scenes. My prediction, because it's again been foreshadowed in the Beeple every days. You can even go look at last night's. Last night's has not only a Nakamigo in it, but it has the fucking VR AR headset. So I think that's what we're on the cusp of, especially when people should be paying attention the most. And so he did it with the Nakamigos chapter 2 and he wrote an essay on it. And I'm not here to shill Nakamigos, but he also did it with the iPhone. I'm sorry, not the iPhone, the Apple Vision Pro. So the Apple Vision Pro being the new AR VR type of device that everyone was getting excited about. Everyone wanted to line up and have one. And then after a month or two, it's been like complete.
second I saw you when the request, not going to get a shield today, but I appreciate that energy, dude, because I too have been fully deployed into JPEG for the last 4 years, so I love that energy, But I will say this, if you read people's everydays, you can take a lot of things. I mean, you could assume that there's an invasion of space sticks coming to fucking take over humanity. I don't know, dude. I wouldn't read too much into it.
That was a tweet I was going to put out on when Maduro got arrested was how many dicks are we going to see on the Maduro every day from people? But surprisingly, none. That was a big surprise.
For the record, I am a fan of
Anon,
Nakamigos. I love the lore. I love that kind of shit. Anyway.
Anon, why you don't like creeps? I mean, the art.
I don't know. It never
just
spoke
don't
to
fucking
me.
like it.
I'm into the Illuminati vibes.
Yeah, I'm just creeps is Illuminati. I'm just asking. It's not the
blood sacrifice.
No, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Like some of you remember this. It's because I didn't follow Print My Mint into Creeps when he was with Platoon Dow. And then I did follow him into Cool Monks, thinking it was the next Creeps, right? Because that was kind of the narrative.
I had so many Cool Monks, bro.
Dude, I lost probably like 20, 30 ETH on
I sold one with a TV for like 3.5 ETH. That was
you probably sold it to me.
Probably.
Dude, I was going so hard thinking like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the next like Creeps mixed with Cool Cats. Like that type of vibe.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be and the artist was dope and like everything was good.
The art was great.
Yeah, she was real good. She needs to come back and do another fucking project. I need to figure I can't remember her name. But yeah, Cool Monks, man. Such a cook. I did decent on that. That was pretty good.
I got cooked on that. I definitely got cooked on Lasco for similarly probably around 20 ETH. I've had my moments where I got cooked on Long Lost. Now those guys still come around, like they're still active. I don't, the 5 like Australian friends that still, I guess, take it seriously. Like no shade on them. It's just unfortunate, right? That one didn't hit for more than a few nights because I went really hard on those as well. Do you guys remember those ones?
Which ones?
Oh, my biggest loss was Kitty Crypto Gang, like 20 ETH or so.
Hang on, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So what do you? Because we always debate this. It's like comes up every week. But what do you think needs to happen for the NFT market to kind of like regain some of its like momentum? Because obviously we're off to a good start beginning of the year. It seems like every year we always have this kind of, over the past couple of years at least, we have this initial pump into the beginning of the season. Last year when those VCs came in and swept up the crypto punks, everybody
reception that got globally, and in like the real art scene, like trad art. So I think that was a cool disruption. That definitely kind of raised some eyebrows at the start. I think that there's more to come from Node in a few weeks. I don't know what specifically, but it was enough enough kind of like buzz and hype surrounding it that I booked a ticket all the way out to the other side of the country to to be able to go to that. So I'll be out there for that. Beeple has said his next party is March 21st. Definitely will be at that. I have a subtle, hunch or feeling.
Those events are fun.
Be.
Have you been out to South Carolina yet? And been to any?
Yeah, I've been 4 times.
Yeah, we went to one, and that was it was pretty fun.
Which one you go to?
Man, it was probably about a year and a half ago.
So there's been like the 2 CryptoPunks ones. Probably wasn't one of those because those aren't.
This one was I can't remember.
There was a video game one. There was a Pepe one. There was a Winter Wonderland, and there's been some artists.
The one we went to was when he had the guy who actually bought his Everyday. Him and his wife were there, and he was given a tour to them during the event.
wow.
And yeah, that was the first time I seen his brother hold the fucking beer funnel as he was doing shotguns.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. But yeah, we had a blast. And yeah, my name's on that big ass chain ball somewhere.
That's sick.
Yeah. So it's
Like I don't, and that's what's like. Sorry to interrupt, but I think people still underappreciate and underestimate just how big this dude's reputation is going to be over the next like 5 to 10 years.
yeah.
I do think Beeple is the next Warhol. Like I do think Beeple is on that level and only going to become more polarizing, more center stage, more prolific with his
Yeah, but
uh
he's too freaky,
No,
man.
no,
He's
no.
too many
Even
dicks, too many
bro, when
balls
he
and
has to
dicks.
be. The provocativeness is what
What
is
kind of
that's what
provocative?
makes him stand out.
You can do it, but too many dicks
Nobody
and fucking
knows what it
balls.
But I'm
means,
telling
but
you,
it
when
gets the
you
people
when you
going.
go to his venue and you actually get to see the each like little area and just the placement of everything is so specific.
I
And
really,
it's really dope.
Jesus, I really wanted to go there. I ordered fucking ticket to United States for the first time. You know what happened?
What?
I got fucking canceled, man.
Oh,
I couldn't
Yeah,
come in.
ICE met you at the
They thought I
airport,
was
if I'm
a
guessing.
terrorist. They thought I was fucking terrorist.
yeah. Well, there's some things I
that's
can't
wild.
control. Yeah,
That's
and
fucked up, man. And I look up for your culture. I
I
look
know.
up to
Next
the
time, try
NBA
and
and all
fly
that.
out of another country or use a fake passport.
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
You
or
That's
know,
marry a
too
white
much.
Bro, I
man
I
like
don't
did
my
wanna.
not
wife
I
did.
accept
don't
that.
wanna. I don't wanna get dumped in
yeah,
Guantanamo Bay, man. It's
good,
so easy for me
bro.
Bro,
to say that.
America is the most beautiful
Yeah,
country
marry
ever. I
you a
have
big
been.
girl from
I've been in.
Kentucky. That's all I'm gonna tell you. All right, get you
Bro,
a
that's
big
too
Here,
girl
brutal.
from
Jesus,
Kentucky.
man. You cannot say that, man.
before we
That's too
tangent
brutal.
too
You
far,
cannot say.
there's
That's
two
too
more
brutal.
catalysts. One I mentioned before, it's the AR VR. Like if we actually start to see, Pokemon Go style integration of NFTs of our digital identities where we're feeling like we're kind of like in Ready Player One mode wearing them versus it just being on a screen or being on X of all places, that's going to further the value propositions, the immersiveness, the like I guess you could even say the authenticity of what it is we're trying to portray, or the like the type of experience we're trying to reinforce here. The last thing is a breakout. You need a breakout. You need a breakout project that like is not, quite frankly, penguins, punks, or apes. Like punks need to go higher, sure. Like they're the pinnacle, they're the apex predator. They kind of lead the market. But you need someone to break the fuck out.
Yeah.
And
You don't
my
think that could be Bored Ape or like in my mind, Bored Ape and Pudgy are the
No,
only
he's
two
saying you
brands that
need
are doing
something new.
anything that?
No, you
Yeah,
need
I know.
something
Hold
fresh.
on,
You
they're
need
the only
something.
two. Hold on, let me just finish
My
this
bad.
thought. They're the only two that have enough of a war chest to do the necessary marketing to a Web 2 audience, right? Like, I mean, if you're just starting a Web 3 project, like, do you have the money right out of the gate if you haven't already been a massively successful brand to even market to Web 2? I guess is my point.
If it's
I
something fresh, if it's something
Look what
fresh,
Good
like
Vibes did, bro. Good Vibes did. I mean, they didn't throw a fuck ton of marketing
Yeah,
out. They did because
GVC cuts, bro.
every big KOL had a fucking honorary and people were
that
tweeting
helps.
about it
Yeah,
like crazy. So
I got
Yeah,
an
dude, Good
honorary.
Vibes was ridiculously successful in Web 3. That's not really an answer to my point, though.
They also possibly have Google like hanging in the like in the shadows, let's just say. I mean,
yeah,
nothing's been confirmed, or like, but there's a lot of speculation that their Toast.tv relationships, which were, Google and other companies of that scale, are still within reach, and that they want to integrate the IP there. That they've done a fantastic job as far as community building. I think that is their number one strength, beyond the art itself, is community building, getting the right people, especially in the worst of all like NFT market trends and sentiment. They went out and they found almost every single real collector that they believed would be willing to hold and be patient, and had faith that, you know, NFTs would turn around at some point, and right, like it seems like maybe they are, right, like maybe we weren't wrong. But they gathered a lot of those people, and quietly, you know, I don't care, I'll just say it, two of their biggest holders are 888 and Pranksy. So like when you have those two involved, at kind of the forefront of your community, or, you know, your collector distribution, it's not a bad thing necessarily, right? Like, you know, maybe they're a little bit more polarizing,
Yeah,
but
but Pranksy
they
also
carry some
got
fucking weight.
Pranksy also got pissed when he couldn't sell out his fucking high dollar ass mint, and then fucking just deleted the whole
Yep.
goddamn thing. So, you know,
Yep.
bro, for me, it all revolves around this Clarity Act, because I guarantee you, some of these guys that still hold Bored Apes and like fucking Steph Curry, like these guys, yeah, they probably want to wear it as a PFP, or they want to do something more. But with all the other fallout in the years past with celebrities and MoonPay and all that bullshit, I guarantee you, every one of their fucking lawyers and financial advisors are saying, don't disclose any of your holdings, don't do shit. You know, like Saquon Barkley's probably one of the biggest investors in Web3, but nobody really ever talks about like how much this dude's in.
What is he
You
in?
know, bro, he's in fucking. He was like in the seed rounds of Solana. Like this dude's
Wow.
got massive fucking bags.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, there's a couple threads out there with all the stuff that he's invested in, but huge
I know he's on like
people in the
speaking
space.
terms with Ansem, so there had to have been some sort of connection there.
Yeah. Well, because Ansom's also you know, a huge fucking Eagles fan.
Right, of course.
So, you know, but yeah, there's a lot of people, but I think once we end up getting these Clarity Acts, like bro, just seeing the DGN News account tweeted that Wyoming is the first state to launch their stablecoin. It's live now. And then all the fees. Well, you know, let's see what the fuck happens here, because like I hope no fucking illegal shit happens, but they're supposed to take all the interest earned and put it back into the schools and public services.
That'd be great.
And yeah, like doing good things with it. You know, so
are they gonna release their own
cheese.
stable coin? So they're gonna choose USDC or what's RLC or what are they gonna use?
say it again. Well, it's on Solana.
But which USDC? Is it Circle behind it? Coinbase Circle? Or?
I have the slightest clue. I just seen the tweet and I don't know much beyond that. I'm looking right now. That's
Saquon wasn't a seed investor in Solana, by the way. It was Monad.
Oh, it was Monad. Okay.
Same thing.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It's still, it doesn't matter.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, buddy.
Doing a lot of different shit. Let's see. It also says right here he is a early investor in Anthropic.
Anthropic, baby.
Elon Musk Neuralink prediction. He was a seed investor in Polymarket. And Peter Thiel's
I'm a seed
founder
investor in
fund.
Jesus.
I invested in invested in my
tied
seed.
right into Peter Thiel. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But in also, what was this other thing? He also took like half of his rookie contract and invested it all into Bitcoin at 32K. So he's up on those bags.
Nice. An idiot. You remember how like 5 years ago no one knew who Nick Fuentes was?
Oh, don't get fucking Jatoshi started.
Is he not there? Is he AFK? Anyway, the reason I was asking him was because like that's what it's going to be with Peter Thiel here over the next few years. Is all of a sudden it's going to go from no one knew who Peter Thiel was.
Is not good for the world.
To
it's not good
everyone.
For the
but
States.
you don't. I mean, he already won. Like I really think they're
Already
that far along.
Having Vance there. Vance is his lapdog. Pweeps. People should buy Pweeps, man, because Vance is going to be the next president.
I'm just going to say this. Venezuela doesn't happen as smoothly and as swiftly as it did without Palantir. Like, holy shit. They just showed, like, the entire strength of the U.S. military, which is Palantir, in 4 hours. Like, and
This
it
is
put the
hype,
whole
man.
world upvoting.
America's always done that. In Nicaragua, always done that, man. Iran Contra, always done that. You have Navy SEALs, fucking Delta Force. You guys been doing this for like fucking 30 years. This is nothing new. They're just gonna try to hype their Palantir up, man. Fuck that shit. It's all about the power, and you are the greatest nation when it comes to fucking war. You've been doing that for a long time, so
Fuck around and
I,
find
I
out,
learned a
buddy.
while
find out,
ago.
like Pete Hexet said, yeah, that fucking cocaine head. But I don't care about it. But like,
Damn, why you calling Pete Hexet a cokehead?
yeah, because he drinks a lot of whiskey and takes some coke and bangs some
Hey, ain't
bitches.
nothing wrong with a little bit of booger sugar every
Yeah,
once in a
nothing wrong
while.
with
Calm
that
down.
shit. Nothing wrong
Here's
with
my
that shit.
You
philosophy
know,
though on Peter Thiel.
But Peter Thiel, you go for the Zionist place, and the Zionists they
I
want to
know I'm
glue
well.
your guys
Yeah,
like a
yeah. No,
goin.
I get it. So here's my
Yeah,
whole thing
you
with
want
it,
to be a
right?
goin?
Here's my whole thing with
Or you
it.
want to be a good white boy who is
I
defending?
believe that we have an opportunity if you are here right now and you have, some sizable bags and, your conviction in the industry.
But don't care
You
about conviction. Care about your country, brother.
wait, well, no, hold on, let me finish. You can place the fuck out of their slavery. Like they will be able to enslave most people and UBI will be introduced and, ninety
Universal
percent of
basic
jobs will
income,
get
right?
wiped out by
Universal
AI.
basic income.
I'm telling you that I think that like there's still millions of dollars to be made here, and whether it's 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever your target is, like it's attainable. It's attainable because like we're even just showing up here, and we do have an edge like in this. What we like again, if you have the knowledge that Peter Thiel has significant interests in crypto and crypto changing the world and him being really at the center of that with the
Yeah,
rest of his
yeah,
fucking elite
he is.
cabal.
He started PayPal, and everybody knows that he's innovational
So
when it
so,
comes
so my
to.
point is like
But
you can either
everybody
be
wants to
upset.
have everybody wants to have the custodial control over the people. Like the people don't need to have their own custodial of their assets to put in DeFi protocols and get their yields,
well, I think
and have
Peter's
control
also
over the
involved.
assets.
He's involved with Abstract as well. I think
Peter
he
Thiel
invested.
Peter Thiel owns 9% of Bitmine, by the way. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he's big into crypto, bro.
Pump my fucking bags, Pete. Like that's where I'm at with it. Is like I feel I'm in a position that I will not be restricted the way that the vast majority of society will be in the next like let's say 10 years because I'm early, here and I'm going to make irrational like wealth here that I never would have made in the real world. And and and,
All of us
and I
is gonna
have to
be
almost
good,
like I'm
bro.
not going to say I'm going to thank Peter Thiel for that, but I'm sure as hell not going to try to go against him.
No,
Several
no,
years
no.
ago I said that
I
that's just
understand
not
you,
the
bro.
right answer.
I understand you, bro. No problem.
It sucks. Like morally, it's kind of corrupt, and like
No,
you
no, no.
you kind of have
Everybody
to like.
here is gonna make money because we are way ahead of other people.
It's
We are
the
like
it's the
like
theory of
10% of the whole
accelerationism at its
population
core. Like
doing
all that fucking Kali Yuga stuff of like destruction and rebirth. Like yeah, you don't want to have to go through that, right? And so it's like if you found like the loophole or the fucking cheat code to kind of be on the sidelines for that, or to like be in a higher fucking rung on the ladder where you're not as like vulnerable to that,
well,
then
you're not late.
yeah, I'm grateful. But last thing I'll say right on the projects, so breakout projects. Ironically, Good Vibes was on my list. Like that's definitely one of the three that I have in mind as far as like could be like the project that tries to re-inspire, the joy of collecting NFTs and the speculation of what could the team do with their connections or experience or utility or whatever. Like they've already got a solid foundation in place. So could that go to 5 ETH plus, 10 ETH plus? I don't rule it out. And by the way, I only have two of them. I had 60 at one point, so life happens. The two others, uh, I'll just briefly say, yeah, I think Nakamigos is going to break out. I think they're going to go well beyond 1 ETH. But I'll stop there. The last one is CloneX. Like this CloneX thing's a big deal. They went 10 plus, once previously. I think the IP is a hell of a lot better than Moonbirds, and the fact that they changed ownership and saw a floor price increase
Who bought him up?
from
Who bought him up from Nike?
We don't know. We don't know, but like 0.7 to roughly 3 ETH on Moonbirds, right? So if these were at 0.1, now they're at 0.3, I'd say they probably get to between like 1.5. I'd say around 1.5 would be fair.
I'm gonna go ahead and play devil's advocate and say I disagree on your opinion of the IP being better than. I like the Moonbirds IP personally. It's dual. It has a nice duality in that it's like pixel art, and then they actually made like really good looking ones too. And then the mythics are really cool looking. Don't get me wrong, I like the clones too. A lot of people don't like the clones. A lot of people don't like 3D art. I think they're cool too. But if you just put both in front of me and I knew nothing about Web3 or the price action or anything, I'd probably be more attracted to Moonbirds. But obviously, this is all subjective stuff. We're talking about art here.
I think that's fair. I like that Moonbirds has different sort of perspectives on the IP, right? Having the pixel, then having, like you said, the more animated, like more I don't know, like detailed quality. CloneX does have Murakami though. I don't know if it means anything anymore, but once upon a time it did as far as like collectability.
What do you think, Murakami? I haven't even thought about that. I wonder what he thinks of this whole CloneX situation right now.
I don't think he cares, like, quite honestly. It seems as if, like you could talk with someone like Chicago about this, he'd know a lot better. Because I guess he has some familiarity with the family of who like really is running the shit for Murakami. Because the dude's like what, gotta be like 70 or something. So he has like family members that are making these deals and kind of like basically exploiting or bastardizing his IP and his art, and he's kind of helpless.
Jesus must be coming
I'm
up with
sitting right here.
generated tweets right now.
No, I'm sitting right here. I was waiting to see where the conversation went, but it's fucking 1:00. We've been going for 2 hours. A lot of different shit discussed, a lot of things going on today. I just love the fact that NFTs are back part of the conversation.
And not
whether
just
it's
here.
CloneX, whether
All
it's
the big
everywhere.
spaces I've gone to in the last couple days have at least brought up NFTs, whereas nobody was talking about NFTs in any of these spaces here for months. So yeah,
100%. Yeah.
What kind of NFT did Raul Paul buy for $600,000? What was that?
I have the slightest fucking clue.
No, I saw a tweet about it.
X copy 1 of 1.
Oh, yeah. Raul Paul. I'm sorry, I was fucking had a blank there. I thought you said Ron Paul. I'm like, did Ron Paul buy a fucking?
No, it was actually
like Ron Paul bought a fucking.
Ron Paul is a G, man. Don't fuck with Ron.
But yeah. It was an X copy 101. He bought it off of Gandhi. It repaid 130 ETH loan. He, and then covered the other 30 ETH on the sale, and then, pretty fucking dope. And
that's good for the NFT, right? That's you were talking about.
There was a CryptoPunk sold for 159 ETH, I think, or 139. It was a smiling cowboy. So that one looked pretty good. And then so some big sales today on CloneX, big sales on Good Vibes. Gary V's buying NFTs. So it's bullish time right now for NFTs, and I just hope we keep going that same direction, and the markets don't eat shit, but they probably will. So just get it and enjoy it while it lasts. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, everybody launched everything before May.
Yeah.
Did we talk to Oppenheimer? I feel like this guy was on stage for a while, and I don't know if we heard his voice.
I don't know, but no. We keep Oppenheimer. Come back tomorrow because it's fucking. I get shit to do, bro.
Okay, yeah, dude.
I know you're stuck in your fucking.
Somebody's got to go smoke them cigarettes, dude. I know you moved in from the garage.
2 motherfucking hours.
Cigarettes on stream.
Listen here, bitch. You're talking about a guy who smokes 2 packs a day, and I'm now less than 1 pack a day. Like the last 3 days, I've smoked less than 1 pack a day. So like I am proud of myself.
It's big improvement.
It's massive improvement.
Don't ever miss an opportunity to make fun of you, but I'm not going to make fun of you right now. I'm proud of you, dude.
And then today I'm going to the gym with one of my boys. Like as soon as I get my daughter, I'm dropping her off back at the house, and then we're meeting at the gym.
My bad. I misunderstood earlier. I thought Jim was the boy you were going to see. Oh, my bad.
Look at this motherfucker.
That's a joke as old as time right there. Anyway, bye,
yeah.
everybody.
So tomorrow my legs are going to be sore, and never mind. Otherwise, you'll
I'm
keep
trying
going
to stay on
in. All right, cool. Everybody have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow. Peace.
Peace.